what's going on YouTube? Nassif here from Click, and today I'm going to be doing, well, there goes the phone vibrating. Today I'm going to be doing, I guess, the initial impressions of the BlackBerry Priv. Now I've had this phone for around about, I'd say I've had it in-house for about 2 and a bit weeks, probably a little bit longer, but I've only really used it for about 4 to 6 days, because there's, a little bit of a phone problem going on here. I've got too many devices coming in and not enough time to use them all and review them. So this will be the initial impressions. Again, I haven't really used it enough to kind of talk much about the software and all that stuff, but what I can tell you is, one, the software runs amazing. The OS is super smooth. There's a few instances, like when you're first booting up, like for example, I'll show you over here. When you first boot up the phone, like if you press the app tray button, you'll press it and it'll take like a good 3-4 seconds before it loads up. The multitasking button sometimes does that as well, but this is only on the initial boot, and I guess it's kind of for every Android phone, but not so much in the newer ones, because this is running a Snapdragon 808, so you can't really complain. The other thing I do really like about this phone is the slide-out keyboard. Now this is awesome because it's a keyboard in itself. You can type on it, like if you go in here and I'm trying to send a message, hello, hey, how are you doing? Like, I feel like I'm way more accurate and quicker typing on a physical keyboard than I am with I guess like a touch virtual keyboard. So and then you also have gestures like swiping back, and if in a texting app, like if you have if you're typing like HE, it'll give you a couple suggestions. You can just swipe up on each part of the keyboard, left, middle, and right, and it'll kind of select the best word that kind of would make sense, or whatever you're looking for. I find that prediction is really good. I also find that the virtual keyboard itself, like if I don't want to use the physical keyboard, the virtual keyboard is amazing. It's really good at predicting what you're trying to say. So if I'm trying to type out a text or an email, it'll give you a word like on the next letter, and you swipe up on the letter and it'll fill it in. So if I type H in, and E will show up with the word hello, so I swipe up on the E and then I'll get hello in the text. So it's really convenient. Takes a little bit getting used to, but once you're used to it, honestly, you can bang out emails and messages like so quickly. It's ridiculous. In terms of like overall performance of the phone, again, other than the stutters that you get when it first boots up, I haven't really had any issues in terms of it being slow or things taking long to load. Stuff loads really quickly. The multitasking is great. It's got 3 gigs of RAM on board, and again, yeah, it is an old processor, but it still holds its own in today's day. With the S8 and the G6 and V20 and stuff out from the other manufacturers. The HTC U11 just came out recently. This one, obviously, it's half the price of those ones, so you can't really compare them, but it still holds its own in a lot of categories. I haven't really played with the camera much. Just going in the gallery here to see if I have any photos. I don't think I've taken anything on here just as yet. Let's see here. Well, there goes my phone vibrating again now. So these are just a bunch of videos. These are just the photos I have from Turkey, which I shot on the OnePlus 3T. So again, I haven't really used the camera on here. Now that the nice weather's coming in, I'll watch the cars a bit. I'll take some photos with the BlackBerry, and we'll get some touchies. My phone is going off like nuts. So yeah, I'll take some pictures with this, and now that the cars are going to be getting washed, and take some pictures outside while we're enjoying the nice weather, and I guess I'll report back to you in the final review. The battery life on here has been fantastic. I've been getting at least easy 4.5 hours of screen on time, and if I really wanted to push it, I could get easily 5 hours of screen on time, no problem. And you guys gotta keep in mind, this is a 2K, 5.5-inch 2K AMOLED display. I am rocking the dark click wallpaper, so I guess that saves a little bit on battery, but I mean, the rest of the with phones these days, you don't really have to worry about battery life, because Android is so great at optimizing stuff. Lollipop was a bit of a piece of shit software, but Marshmallow is really good. Nougat's really good. And speaking of Nougat, this is supposed to get it at some point. I haven't found it yet. Haven't got the update yet. But it does get security patch updates every month, which is really good. So I really appreciate that from BlackBerry. The speaker is good. It's I'd say a little bit tinny, because here, I'll see if I can play a song for you guys, and I'll throw it up to the mics. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna search up some NCS on Spotify here, so non-copyright songs. Alright, so we'll just shuffle whatever playlist I have here. So listen for yourself. Put it up to the mic here. This song's kind of slow. So take from that what you will. Again, it's through the microphone. Probably not going to translate in the video, But the speaker it's loud. One, it's front facing, which is really good, but it doesn't compete with HTC speakers and iPhone speakers. I'd say it's about on par with the Note 5 speaker that I have here. Better than the 6 Plus, but not as good as the iPhone 7. So again, if you don't consume a lot of media, which most BlackBerry users don't, it's not the biggest deal in the world. But for me, I do all my YouTube and stuff on the phone, apart from when I'm rendering and stuff and uploading, it's on the computer. But video watching, any short vlog videos and stuff like that, I'll upload straight from the phone. And I can tell you guys the speaker is great just solely because it's front facing. The only thing I will say is that when it's in landscape mode and you're listening to music, or if you're listening to a YouTube video, it's kind of audio's on the one side, so it's a little bit off. But again, not the biggest deal in the world, especially at this price point. You really can't complain. For what, $400 is what I paid for it, $450, something like that. This is the only front-facing speaker phone I have in-house, so it is what it is. I think I've pretty much covered everything just off of the bat. I haven't used the headphone jack. Charge times or whatever, it's got quick charge, but the charge is normal charge times. One thing I also want to say, wow, I got dust on my finger there. The back of this phone, guys, I'm not kidding, I can fry an egg on the back of it, especially when I'm using it, taxing the processor. If I'm doing, benchmarking and watching videos on high brightness and, multitasking like a madman, you could literally fry an egg sunny side up on this phone, no problem. I also have that problem when I'm charging and using it, even if I'm doing nothing, just using it for text messages, Facebook Messenger. The processor heats up like crazy, so that's just something to be aware of. It doesn't really do anything. It's not damaging to the phone. It's not, to the point where it's going to fry your fingers off, but it is uncomfortable to hold. I'll say that. And I think that's partly because of this kind of plasticky, rubbery back they have on here. It just doesn't dissipate heat as well as, I guess, the glass or aluminum. I'm not sure. So so far I haven't had any issues with battery expanding or the plastic melting or anything like that. Hopefully I won't. Also, one thing I wanted to note is that a lot of YouTubers, I've watched a couple of reviews, they were saying that the back plastic here moves in. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe those were pre-production models or something, but this phone is built like a tank. This is the one phone that I honestly say I feel like I can throw it at the wall and it'll still stay in one piece. I can't say that for the rest of my phones. I feel like they're too delicate, and I don't really like that about phones these days. And this is a kind of a rant video, but I find that phones are getting too delicate and too, you gotta caress them too much and love them too much. But that's just something for another video. Maybe that'll be a rant video that I make in the future. But anyways, guys, that's just pretty much it for my initial impressions. Tried to keep it a little bit short. I will have the full review out with everything. I'll be talking about the same stuff as today. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. So basically, screen, battery, all that stuff, I'll go over all of that in the final review, and I'll give you my thoughts on if you guys should, if you're in the market for a BlackBerry, if you should pick this one up or get the key one, which is going to be about double the price. But that's for the final review video, and I'll discuss that later on. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like on it, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're almost up to 1,300 subscribers, which is awesome, so thank you guys for all that support. Anyways, guys, I gotta go record a bunch of other videos. I got other stuff to record. I haven't recorded for God knows how long. So anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. This has been Nasif from Click, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.